Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing a little video where I'm just going to be comparing different features between different phones and just saying which I prefer really and my opinions on both. I'm going to do 5 of these and the first one's going to be back versus front fingerprint sensor. So as you can see on the OnePlus 3T, which is this one here, there's a front fingerprint sensor, and on this one, which is the Vodafone Platinum 7, there's the fingerprint sensor on the back. And I've got to try this phone out for the last few days now, so I've got a kind of feel as to what it's like having a back fingerprint sensor. And yeah, really it depends on the situation. So I kind of prefer having it on the front, especially when it's on the desk, because obviously when it's on the desk it's easy to unlock it just like that. But with this one you have to actually put your hand underneath and basically unlock it like that, which is kind of hard, as you can kind of see in the video, like that. So having it on the front's really good for when it's on the desk, and to be honest, even picking it up, as you can see, if I was to pick it up like this, it's pretty easy to just pick it up and do like that. So really I do prefer the fingerprint sensor on the front, just because I can easily unlock it however it is. But then if you're holding this one, then your finger does just naturally land on the fingerprint sensor, so that's the good point of that. But really it depends on what you want. I've heard a lot of people say that they like it on the back, but for me personally I like it on the front, just because if it's on a desk you can just quickly unlock it like that and you can start using it. You don't have to pick it up or anything. Next is front or bottom facing speakers, and I think this is pretty much universal as to which one people prefer. I mean, there's really few advantages to having a speaker on the bottom as opposed to on the front. Because the thing is, if it's on the front, you're not going to be blocking it by your hand if you're using the phone in landscape. And there's 2 speakers here as opposed to just one on the OnePlus 3T, which is this one down here. It sounds better and it's in stereo, and the thing is, when you've just got it on a table like this, the music's going to be coming upwards instead of going outwards like on this one. So it's just a lot better in all situations really. The only real thing I can think of is maybe the aesthetics, but to be honest, on this phone it doesn't really look bad. So yeah, I think it's pretty much universal that the front facing speakers are going to be better than bottom facing speakers. The next point is alert slider versus the usual volume button controls, and basically the alert slider is only on OnePlus devices, so it's this little slider here. And if you've watched my OnePlus 3T review, which is the last video that came out, you'll probably know that I don't like the alert slider that much. I have since found out after making that video that there is a vibration mode that you can get to under silent, which I'll show you how to get to it actually. You just basically put it in vibrate, then you go to settings, and then you put enable vibration, and that will enable vibration mode. So it is there, but the thing with that is, for example, if you're in university, like I go to university and I don't want it to be vibrating there, but I do want it to vibrate, for example, when I'm at home, so I have to manually go into that menu every time I want to switch it between vibration and silent. But the thing is, if you're just doing it on a phone like this, if I unlock it, you just basically put the volume down to the bottom and you get vibration, and then if you keep pressing it, then you get silent. So that's really what I would like it to be. It's just a lot more simple. You don't have to go through menus or anything like that. It's just there. And you can easily, again, put it into being, basically having volume instead of just being vibrate easy. It's just one button and that's pretty much it. And talking about the volume button, that's the next thing I'm going to talk about. I actually prefer when it's on the right, and there's actually 2 reasons for that. And that's because the first reason is when it's in my pocket, I can easily distinguish between the power button and the volume rocker. And I'm pretty sure you've experienced it yourself when you've put your phone in your pocket and you accidentally switch the screen on while you're putting it in your pocket. And you don't want it to do anything in your pocket, obviously, so you try and find the power button while it's in your pocket. And the thing is, on this phone, I've accidentally pressed the volume button a lot of times when I try to do that. But with this one, because you've kind of got a point of reference where basically, you know, if there's nothing above this, then that's the volume controls. And obviously, these 2 are next to each other, so you kind of know which one's the power button, which one's the volume controls. But with this one, it's very, very easy, because the buttons actually feel the same. It's actually very easy to press the volume controls instead of the power button. And I've done that loads of times. That's one of the reasons why I prefer it. And it's also just because I kind of feel like it feels better. Like when you're holding it like this, it's pretty easy to press all the buttons and stuff. And even when you're doing it with the other hand, it's pretty easy to press the buttons. I just find it a bit kind of harder with this phone to like go and press them and stuff. It's mostly when I'm holding it this way, so you have to bring your thumb down like that. So again, it is pretty much nitpicking. It's not like a major deal. It's not that hard to press the buttons, but that's just kind of one point in the favour of having this design with it on the right. So I'd love to hear what you actually think about it in the comments down below about that one. And finally, one that again is probably going to be very divided is micro USB, which this phone has, as you can see right here, versus USB-C, which is on the OnePlus 3T right down there. Actually, for me, again, it was a bit kind of hard at first because I had to go out and buy a whole load of USB-C cables because I was the first one that moved over to USB-C. No one else's phones have USB-C in my house. But the thing is, USB-C is the future, so this phone is going to be future-proof. So, and when USB-C accessories come out in the future and stuff like that, this phone's going to be able to use them. But the thing is, micro USB is dying down, and accessories are micro USB at the moment. But eventually, when everything does move over to USB-C, then this one's going to become basically redundant, and all the accessories are going to be old and stuff like that, because Apple's starting to move over to USB-C with their Macs and stuff, so accessory manufacturers are going to be moving over to USB-C. So it's good that they put it in this, even though it is a bit of a pain. When it comes to conveniency, obviously this one's reversible, so that makes it a lot better. But I've actually found that charging isn't really dependent on the standard, because obviously this one has quick charging 3.0 and this one has dash charging. But the thing is, there's some USB-C cables that don't do dash charging or do any sort of fast charging, and there's also micro USB cables that don't do fast charging, so it isn't really dependent on the standard, that. But again, USB-C is good for being future-proofed. You know, you're going to have to buy those wires eventually because all the devices are moving over to them now. But micro USB, obviously you've got lots of cables. You're not going to have to buy any adapters to make those cables work with USB-C, for example. And yeah, you can just use what you've got, but it's not going to be future-proofed. So that's basically the difference. I don't know which one I prefer. It's just kind of like, I mean, it's best to have USB-C to be future-proofed. But yeah, again, micro USB, like if, for example, when I went to my grandparents' house, it was pretty easy to just plug this phone in. I didn't have to remember to bring my own wires. And yeah, that's pretty much just the universal fact at the moment. But yeah, that's about it. If you have any different opinions, if you think, for example, I mean, I'd love to hear if you've got any reasons why bottom-facing speakers are better than front-facing speakers, for example. I'd love to hear all of that down in the comments down below. Hope you all enjoyed this video. It was a different type of video. I'm also thinking of doing a different video that's kind of in this style, but is comparing two other things, which you'll see when the video comes out what those two things are. So I hope you'll enjoy this video anyway. If you liked it, be sure to give it a like, be sure to subscribe, and again, be sure to leave those comments down below of what you prefer, like which one do you prefer, like if you like front-facing speakers or bottom-facing speakers, or the alert slider or the normal volume controls. I'd love to hear your opinions down below in the comment section. But that's it for me. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.